Hi folks, this is all the fruit. I'm in Heidelberg in Germany. It's the second half of May and we already have ripe mulberries. Now I made a lot of videos about out of season fruit this spring. We had a very mild winter, so a lot of fruit which were ripe last autumn survived the mild winter, and also a lot of trees had blossoms which developed in winter and the fruit ripened in spring. So we had like something, I thought about 20 different fruit which were ripe between March and May, and you can still find a lot of out of season fruit this year. However, this tree is a little bit different. It's not unusual for this particular tree to have fruit in May. As you can see, well, it's May. The leaves on most of the trees around me have already developed. The elderberry is in flower. The ornamental cherries are not in flower anymore. In the background you can see there are still a few horse chestnuts in flower. So it's really early in the season. And mulberries don't develop that early in the season in temperate climates. 2000 years ago, the Romans used to call the mulberry tree Morus sapiens, the wise mulberry, because it never started developing its leaves and flowers until after the last frost. So the mulberry was wise or clever enough to start developing only after the last late frosts. And yeah, that's what it does in Germany. Like most of the leaves and blossoms on the mulberry trees, they developed like in late April. However, this tree here is special. I don't even know what it is. It is some type of Morus alba, but Morus alba, there are a lot of mulberries lumped under the name of Morus alba, and most of them are not even white but black. And if you look at those fruit, they are definitely not white, they are black. So this one single mulberry tree here, it blooms really early. It seems to be similar to those, well, like subtropical mulberries you find in southern Turkey and in other places where you can eat the fruit already like in late March or early April, which is totally unusual for Germany. Here, the mulberry season is basically in July. Sometimes in a hot year you'll get some in June, usually you'll still get a lot in August, but it's like July and a little bit into August. However, those mulberries here, this tree, it starts having mulberries in May, and the last mulberries are like in September, a very extended fruiting season. Now the first mulberries on this tree are really not good. I saw a lot of reddish mulberries which looked more or less like the reddish ones here. Oh, I hope you can see something. I have to film upwards. There were a lot of such reddish mulberries already in late April and in the first days of May, and I thought, oh, by the 10th of May we'll have a lot of ripe mulberries. But they just didn't develop properly. The tree dropped them. And even the mulberries I collected now, they are not really nice. I mean, we had a pretty cold and wet May. And those mulberries, yeah, they are kind of developed and ripe, but they are not really nice. And also they are quite dry. That's what they look like while they are still on the tree. Ah, come on. Kind of. And also they don't taste 100% ripe. Even when they are black, they are still kind of crunchy, not very sweet. They do have a distinct mulberry flavor, but they are not very sweet. In a couple weeks, this tree will develop a lot of bigger, juicier, sweeter fruit, and it will continue fruiting throughout summer. So those first mulberries, they are not really good. But at least, I mean, they get ripe before the first cherries and about the same time as the first strawberries here. So a really special mulberry tree. If you want a really extended fruiting season for your mulberries, like from May through at least September, this tree would be perfect. I've never seen a mulberry tree with such a prolonged fruiting season. Like, there are some which fruit for like 2 months or so, but not for 4 or 5 months. Well, folks, those were some mystery mulberries from Heidelberg in Germany. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the parks and gardens of Heidelberg. And if you want to support the channel, don't forget to like, share the links, subscribe to the channel, and leave some nice comments.